What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content. And I want to talk about how Bronny James, in my opinion, is ruining LeBron James' legacy. And it's not really all. It's mainly LeBron James' fault, and because he the one who put Bronny James in a position that Bronny James did not well he wasn't qualified for, and so this is going to be LeBron James. This is probably going to be his, like he's the one who's going to have to accept responsibility for allowing his son to ruin his legacy. Like, say for instance, whenever you like, if someone is working for a company and they recommend somebody to, for a job, most times if the person care about the company that they're working for, the people that they recommend for the job not only qualified, but they know that they're going to do a good job because this person is, they come highly recommended. That's the good part about references and recommending people for jobs, is because somebody has already, the person who has already recommended you, number one, they know what the company need, and number two, they know what kind of person that they're sending to the company. And so if you used to send a person to a company to work or recommend a person for a company, a job, and that person don't work out, or that person do something that's, that will cause them to get fired or don't work hard like that, then that's a reflection of you. So now that ruins your reputation. People have said, I know a lot of people probably say, well, is your job hiring? Like what's going on at your job? And the first thing you think about, like, well, if the job is high, you think about, well, is this person somebody that's reliable or dependable, or is this a job that they can do? Because I don't want my name associated with somebody who might get in there and not work hard, might have poor attendance or something like that. So you're careful about who you recommend to the job. And LeBron James, the fact that he would recommend his son and vouch for his son to play for the Lakers, or even to play in the league, that goes to show what LeBron James think about the NBA. And I always said that LeBron James, in my opinion, has never been he's never been an ambassador for the game, number one. And he only care about what basketball and what the Lakers and what the league can do for him. It's never about, appreciating the league, being an ambassador for the league. It's just about what everybody can do for LeBron. And it's not even all LeBron's fault. Well, now it is, because LeBron James is old enough to know better. He's at the he's at the tail end of his career. A lot of times when you have young athletes, and I've been watching basketball long enough to see that, like, when you have young athletes, they'll come into the league just like all young people, and they'll be like, they don't really appreciate the league until they get to the end of their career and they start looking back. And then that's when they start to, acknowledge, like the sport has done a lot for them. I saw that with, a ton of basketball players that retire, and then, they appreciate and they acknowledge what the sport, not just in basketball, but across all major sports, especially guys who were fortunate enough to have long, successful careers. They don't want it to end, and then they looking at it like, man, basketball has afforded me, or whatever sport I'm playing has afforded me this life, this opportunity, a lot of good times and all this other stuff. But it wasn't like that for LeBron James. He just never, he don't appreciate the NBA. And the thing about it, I think that is going to hurt him at the end of his career, or after his career is over with. It's because the NBA know that, like businessmen and people who run big big corporations and stuff like that. Everybody see this. This is so obvious for everybody to see. And so it's going to affect his legacy going forward. Not only is it going to affect his legacy, but it's going to affect like the kind of business opportunities that LeBron James get. You, in the business world, he won't be allowed to act like a diva because he don't have any leverage. He don't have any leverage. You know, it's not about like what you're doing on a court anymore because you're not playing on the court. Now it's about like what else can you do for whatever whoever wants to do business with you. Like, well, how can you be an asset to them once you're no longer playing? He won't have that to fall back on. And so, with that being said, I was listening to Kwame Brown. Right, Kwame Brown was talking about Bronny James and his performance and stuff like that, and how he feels like Bronny James is not ready and he's taking up a roster spot, which I agree with Kwame Brown that, you know, Bronny James is taking up a roster spot. And not only is he taking up a roster spot, and he's going to get into this too, like the guy Dalton Connect. I was big on Dalton Connect coming out of Tennessee. I thought that Dalton Connect was going to have a better career than, it's not over with for him, but I thought he was going to have a better career than he had so far. And part of the reason Dalton Connect is not having the success that a lot of people thought he was going to have is because of Bronny and LeBron James. Like LeBron James and Bronny just kind of like stunt people's growth and really just they stunt people's growth. But let me play some of what Kwame Brown was saying on his podcast about Bronny James and how his effect on that team.
But here it is. Now he knows, just like a lot of other players realize, that sometimes the politics just don't have you in the cards. And unfortunately for Dalton Connect, and Bronny and LeBron is showing y'all, he giving y'all a master class on classism. And this is not nepotism. There's not a kid in the league that can go 1 for 12 and stay on a roster spot when you got Russell Westbrook still out on and not on somebody's team. Russell Westbrook averaged what? Who knows? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he averaged double digits last year on limited minutes. That's somebody that can get you into a certain situation in the playoffs. Like, I don't get it. What is Bronny going to do during the season? What position is he going to play? I just don't get it. This kid does not. Let's get into Bronny James and what I saw. What I saw is a kid that needs to get away from his father. I saw a kid that needs to get away from his father and actually be around young players and actually give it a real shot around people that's going to be able to judge him based on him being a young player. He plays like a 23rd or 23-year veteran in the league, and he hasn't done jack shit. So I'm watching a kid who can't shoot fall in love with shooting threes. He's falling in love with shooting threes. For what? Why are you shooting so many threes when you can't shoot? Nobody's respecting your three-point ability.
Right. And I want to touch on what Kwame said there about the politics of the league. And like politics of the NBA is not new. You know, like a lot of teams, it's political in a lot of places. Like it's not always about talent. It's about like it's about favoritism. It's about politics. Like you said, like some players are favored by certain teams in the league, and they are allowed to. They get the green light. They are allowed to shoot the ball when they want to, and do anything. Do just about whatever they want to do on the team. But for somebody like Bronny to be in a position like this, who's not even qualified to be in a league, is just outrageous. Not only is he not qualified to be in the league, but his presence on the Lakers team is hurting Dalton Connect. Is hurting what's the guy named Austin Reeves is hurting. It's just hurting the team in general. And LeBron James don't care about the Lakers. So the fact that he don't care about the Lakers and that is hurting the Lakers really don't. He's sleeping good. You know, he's sleeping good. But I don't think that this situation, once LeBron James is away from the Lakers and Bronny is off the team, I think this is going to come back to bite him, because people who love basketball, and not just the fans, but you have people who are with the ownership. If you own the Lakers, and you, like, if you're a part of this new ownership group and you see what this guy has done to the Lakers, that probably don't make you feel good. That's not going to leave a good taste in your mouth. If you watch, it's just like somebody sabotaging your business from the inside. And publicly right now, they not going to be able to do anything about it. But you know, people, like I said, once LeBron James leave this league, I think is really going to tear down his legacy. The fact that if you don't care about basketball and basketball has done so much for your life, you don't care about the sport, then it is, you know, I later on it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna come back to bite you. This era of player empowerment for me has not been, it wasn't good. And the thing I don't like about player empowerment is because it don't encourage people who had the opportunity to play in the NBA to think of anything but themselves. Like, it allows players to be more selfish. And I know people say, well, owners are selfish and all that, but it's even owners who are selfish realize that you still have to give back to the game, or else there won't be anything there for them, you know, won't be there for them to make any money off of the league. But LeBron James has used up the league, and now he think he's just going to walk off into the sunset and start another league and be able to, you know, continue to operate like this. You know, just like Kwame said, he's giving a master class, not only in classism, but I think he's going to serve as an example of what not to do in the NBA. People already, you know, like players today, franchise ball players don't move around the way LeBron James and Kevin Durant did. They're not doing that because they see how much of a negative impact that has on your legacy, and you know, it also helps, it stunts your growth. You don't get to put down roots in a certain city, go through the ups and downs of and the trials and tribulation of trying to get to, you know, yourself to a championship level. You don't get to watch your you don't get to develop, you know, and improve your game every year, because you're going around, you're finding the best players to play with every year. So you're not really challenged to grow at all. So yeah, all of this, you know, I think is going to come back and bite LeBron, and it's going to is ruining his legacy. Having Bronny James in there, basically, bottom line, when he's not qualified, is ruining LeBron James' legacy, because LeBron James, it shows that LeBron James don't care anything about the NBA or the Lakers, and that's not good for his legacy. So, with that being said, man, y'all make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment, and I will check you all out in the next video. Peace.